My wife got drunk in a dinner party and made out with her affair partner in front of me. Now she is shocked and upset because I'm going to divorce her and her BS never posted before. But then through this once, never got confirmation one way or the other, thousands of dollars of therapy. And a few years later, I'm back. Things started to get worse between US during the year. I can say by early summer, affection started to taper off. Sex became less frequent and things became a little stale. I thought maybe she could be going through a menopause. Since it's around that time, I try to be supportive. I ask if anything's wrong, but she doesn't talk about anything like that. She gets less and less affectionate. We're getting on really well, but there's no touch, no back rubs, no hugs, no kisses, no hand holding, no hand on my leg, no playing with my hair, no cuddling in my hair, no cuddling in bed. Touch is my love language. We spend a lot of time on this, in therapy. She pulls away when I try to get a hug or initiate sex, or simply cuddle on the sofa. I leave things be for a while, because other areas are good. Months past this year. We are going to my home country for Christmas. I spoke to her about booking flights. She informs me the cheese book, that Christmas holidays from work for the week after Christmas. Why would you do that? I thought it was her mean, controlling streak coming back. She was trying to sabotage her trip, even though I haven't seen family and friends back home in more than 2 years. What have I ever done for her to behave this way? I asked her to change the dates. She says she can't. I asked her to work from there. Instead, she reluctantly agrees, even though it isn't a problem at all. I book ticket. We get a late invite to a dinner party. I thought, why were we left out until a couple of days before I now see that she knew before? But hope I decline. On such short notice, we go. Things are good. Good people. Good food. Good conversation by midnight. Half the people have gone, but a few of us remain drinking and chatting, sitting around the table while engaging conversation with a few people. I glance over at my wife. One of the guys is rubbing her back, not in a light-hearted, jovial kind of way, in a Tinder we know, and are deeply comfortable with each other kind of way. I couldn't believe it. I said nothing, just observed while remaining engaged with the conversation I was having. I kind of died inside, but it was different this time. Feelings just switched off. I felt nothing. My thoughts were kind of, oh, so this is what's going on. I get it now. Everything clicked into place. This guy and one of my wife's best friends, who's pretty narcissistic, were having problems. My wife was helping, advising, and consoling this guy via text messages earlier in the year. Would you believe? I actually felt relief. They were drunk. They forgot I wasn't drinking. If they acted that way while I'm across the table from them, what's going on when I'm not around? His behaviour, once I started watching more closely, was of someone who was smitten. I decided it was time to go home. When we got home, she scolded me for ruining the evening by leaving early after 2 a.m. and gave me the cold shoulder, went to sleep in a huff. No change there. So, she had no intention of travelling for Christmas. She wants to spend it with AP. I'm certain some other problem will come up between now and then, meaning she can't travel. She's already complained about not having good internet access over there. Luckily, that all sorted itself out that night. I slept soundly the next day. I brought it up good night last night, but people got a bit drunk there. Before the end, I think AP was hitting on you. No, he wasn't sure he was. At one point, he was rubbing your back and everything. She just stared at me, not in a screw you kind of way, or a disappointed kind of way. It was a no kind of way. I let that hang for about 10 seconds. Then changed the subject. That was all I needed. My decision was made. She said nothing further about it later in the week. She mentioned that she bumped into AP in town, and he was out on a date. But he asked her not to mention it to anyone, so I can't say anything. Sure thing day is next week. I don't need this mess anymore. The first time I had no proof, just massive disrespect, lies and gaslighting from her. But I gave it a shot because that was codependent, and I thought we could be fixed. We made good progress for a year and a half before things started sliding. Again this time. I have enough information, hindsight and self-respect to do what needs to be done. I'm not even mad. I'm more relieved than anything else. Relieved that my intuition is working. Relieved that I'm not broken, as I thought I was. relieved that I'm not the untrusting, broken, unlovable, implied by her lack of affection person she portrayed me as. I get it. Now it's time to move on top. Comment you, my friend, are a legend. You've done what most of us don't have the guts to do. It's a pity that it took this long. But you are finally at a point where you can look after you. No more love wasted on her. Stay strong. These kinds of betrayals are some of the easiest to deal with. You stayed loyal. You did everything you could to save your marriage and get in a place where you're both happy. You did your part, but she remained as shrewd. And now that she's broken with her oath, it's a relief because now you don't have to try to love a person who treated you like trash. Keep a straight face, give her as little as possible until your divorce is all said and done. Stay strong and good luck. So she will still try to rewrite history and portray you as the villain, though. So if you still have any desire to protect her honor by keeping her affair a secret, don't she's already fired you from that job. You just haven't received a notice. Make sure her ape's wife knows everything so she can thoroughly destroy him. Second story. Story 2 found out 3 months ago. That wife had an emotional affair with a coup worker who lives in Coup. We're on East Coast for 6 months. I suspected called it out a couple of times. And she always denied it, discovered weird things on her phone, like chorus searches about twin flames, Google searches, does my affair partner miss me? She also had numerous lingerie pics. She recently started going to the gym and has a good body, and one bottomless pic with her head cut out. She also had a meme saying, 7 hours with the right person feels like 30 minutes. Apparently the affair went on for 6 to 7 months before I found out, and according to her mostly emails and a couple of lingerie pics, she swears she didn't send the bottomless pic and swears they never met up and left. Wondering, was this just an emotional affair? Did they meet up? Why would she have a meme like that? She first said it was for a friend, and then said it was because she and AP spent a lot of time together online. She also had proposed moving to Co, which she has always been interested in, but we had just made home here. So, it made no sense. She also moaned his name during sex. I called her out on it. She denied it at the time. I had her swear on our daughter's disability that she didn't say it, and she did. She later admitted she did, after caught in an affair. Really crappy, she comes from a family and a network of cheaters. So cheating is generally accepted, as long as no one finds out. Additionally, she has a drinking problem and drinks to the point of blacking out. On occasion, we have mainly dealt with this lately, but her sins of the past include getting absolutely hammered with our kids and her friends, and friends' kids, who is a serial cheater and doesn't like me, and spending time in a random apartment here in our neighborhood. I wasn't there while dating. She also hid the fact that a past co-worker that had to think for her followed her over to the new restaurant she worked at. I found out through overhearing one of her conversations. Long story short, she lies or deceives very well, and often, even after discovering her EA, I tested her on a couple of things, and she lied. She blames it on the fact I reminded her of her dad, who was a tough customer, according to her, whom she has a crappy relationship with. I think it's highly unlikely she has never been physically and faithful over our 13 years together. Additionally, the rampant lying and deceitful nature of who she is, I find awful. She wants to stay together and wavers on the remorse thing. Sometimes she is remorseful, but sometimes she blames shift and minimizes saying things like, how are we still talking about something so minor 3 months later? Or, you weren't meeting my needs. 2 kids, S and 5. We have ups and downs like most relationships, but I genuinely don't like her character and her network's character outside of her character. I like the idea of nuclear family as a child of divorce myself, and day-to-day things are decent. A few more questionable stories from her, and always kept our relationship private, but when I have opened up about everything to a few close friends and family recently, everyone is surprised and generally feeling like I am probably right in thinking that I have been trickle truth or tip of the iceberg stuff. I have repeatedly asked her the whole our truth over our times together, but her not being transparent with me, I guess it's just par for the course of a lying cheater, right? She will never tell me anything unless I can prove it, and that's just how it is. Therapist says I don't trust her, and I don't, so what's the point? Lawyer says he has seen her type many times before, drinking, lying, scandalous, and that if I don't confront this now, I will have to late her when she cheats again. It's just hard with kids. Advice, stay, or go believe her and wait and see, just wish she would come clean so I can make an informed decision. Yes, that's not how this stuff works. Top comments. This is a full-fledged EA. Sex is only a matter of the near future. If it has already happened, it's only going to get worse. Leave, but prepare well, homie. Drop the divorce papers together with your lawyer. If your state is at fault, then pick up the evidence. In no case, don't tell her about your intentions. Pretend that you bought into her lies. It's a go there are signs that someone might be a good candidate for reconciliation. She shows none of these signs. In fact, she shows a ton of signs that she is specifically not likely to truly reconcile and is very likely to escalate things further and move towards deeper betrayal in the future. Whether her affair was emotional or physical, she's demonstrated that she is not trustworthy, that she does not respect you. Your marriage or your family, your therapist and your lawyer are both absolutely correct. Thank you for joining me on this journey through stories and imagination. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales to come. Remember, every story has a message waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep exploring the world through stories. See you in the next chapter.